Hey everybody, thanks so much for watching. Today an unboxing video of the SAR 2000. This is my first Turkish gun, my first experience with SAR, but I have a friend who's a big fan of the brand, and Palmetto State last week was pretty much giving away SARs. I got this for a price that was just impossible to pass up for a steel frame, double action, single action gun that I believe has a good reputation. So before I jump into this, thank you for watching as always. And more than ever, I would love to hear your feedback on SAR and especially the SAR 2000. If you have any feedback, is the price too good to be true? Is this thing a hunk of junk? Or is it a really good weapon that I've got for play, to practice at the range and keep around the house? So the SAR 2000 by SAR's Malaz, I'll never get that right, but you can see it comes in a hard plastic case. And then the case has sliders that open up to the inside, where you have the SAR owner's manual for all the different variable models here. I think this is in their classic line, but the 2000's on there. This is not to be confused with the P2000. The last gun I bought before this was H&K's P2000. This is just a 2000. You get a nice shiny sticker, if you can see the light there. You get federally mandated lock, a couple of cleaning tools here. Actually, quite nice. And I think it comes with two 17-round magazines. SAR's magazines, you can see there. So, put this back in here. I saw it at the dealer, at the FFL, and that's really it. And the first thing that surprised me was how much I like this finish. So I'll get this sticker off. I'll take a good look at this, guys, who walk around it. So, put all the stuff back inside. Shift my camera. Get this guy out here to look at. See if I can cut this off without cutting my... So here we have the SAR 2000. I'll try to zoom in a bit more so you can see a close-up view. Which, in case you don't know by glancing at it, is a CZ75 clone. We'll talk about how you can tell that in a second. But again, first impressions, it is heavy. I didn't check the weight on it. I'll try to put that in the description. But it's a heavy gun. It's a steel frame gun, steel slide, obviously. But I knew I was getting that. I like the rubber grips. I don't have a full-size CZ clone with rubber grips. And these rubber grips are actually really, really nice. But the finish, I am blown away by how much I like this stainless finish on here. So again, this is the SAR, I'm going to say SAR 2000. These are made in Turkey, and we'll take a walk around to see how this thing looks. Let's just start at the top so we can see the sights. And I'll tell you now, I'll do a comparison video later, but I like the 3-dot sights better than my CZ75, where the sights are kind of low for my old eyes. So you have a good sight picture there. Combat sights, I guess, so you can rack it there. So the sights look good. You only have rear cocking serrations. The front is kept nice and clean, a la a traditional CZ75. So I like how the lines are very clean on this. No striations up here in the front for glare reduction, if that's really a thing. I'm anxious to shoot this outside to see how the sight picture is with stainless in the sun. So we'll check that out. But you can see you have all your information here. You have serial number there, and there. So a slide barrel and frame. They do call it the fact that this is just stainless. Again, SAR 2000. On this side, you can see that they are made in Turkey. Although, should I tell them they spelled Turkey wrong? Kidding. And there again is the made in Turkey call out by SAR USA. So again, my first SAR, the value of this thing, again, I think the MSRP is in the $600 range, maybe $699 even. And Palmetto State sold these for a price that is like almost a third of that. It was less than half price. So again, I am, at a glance, incredibly happy with how much gun I have for a crazy low price. As we keep walking around the gun, you can see that up front, no pick rail. You have a pretty heavy dust cover overhang here. So you have a stainless guide rod. Very clean look here. I love how the lines are I think, great. Trigger guard, no details on the trigger guard. It looks to be just a standard size trigger guard, nothing special. I'll do a safety check as I'm tinkering around the trigger. So you can see that we are clear. By the way, this one does come with a safety only, not a decocker. So, and while I'm there, the trigger feels good. I think the double action pull is heavy as you expect, but the reset, let's check it out. It's okay. It's not much take up. I do like that. And you're back at the wall. Try that one more time. So I didn't get my trigger gauge out, but you can feel the reset in your trigger. So kind of a long reset, but not a lot of take up. So again, for the price, I don't hate this. So trigger feels good. You can see the rubber grips here have some molding to make this thing kind of fit in your hand. The CZ75 clones have always fit in my hand really well anyway, but this one feels, again, the rubber grips I'm a big fan of those. I'm not sure if they're interchangeable with CZ75 grips though, I'm not sure. You'll see you have a few striations here on the front and back as well to help with your grip, but this thing weighs so much that I don't think we're gonna have any problem with recoil. And you have the mag release on this side. Not sure if it's reversible, sorry about that, but I will tell you that the safety and the slide catch are only for right-handers. So left-handers like me have nothing going on over here. So, and there's the mag wheel. So at my first glance, my first impression of the SAR 2000 is I'm really impressed. I'll take a look inside now to see how the machining looks inside there for such an inexpensive gun. In case you don't know about the CZ75s or the clones, take them down. You want to line up two marks or dots. This one has dots. You want to line up this dot and this dot as such, while at the same time depressing this side of the slide stop. So a couple ways to do that. You can do it this way. Take the heel of I like to take the heel of a rubber magazine. This is a SIG 320 mag. Let's see if I can push it out. I can also just pop it on the table. Another thing I do. If I can do it off camera, maybe easier. There it goes. And so once I pushed it down, you can see that the slide stop slide catch slides out. So while this is held back, just pull this out. And there's your slide stop slide catch. Some grease there. So again, for the price, I am incredibly happy with the outside finish of this firearm. I'll see what the inside looks like. So slides off, you can see the shorter grip here. Take a look inside there. I mean, I just don't hate this for the price. I'm not super familiar with Turkish guns. So again, I do value your guys' feedback. Please sound off. Are the Turkish guns really a steal for the money, or is this thing gonna break on me in a couple of years? So again, looks like just grease inside there. So I'll get this thing greased up before I go shoot it, of course, and see how she goes. But early impressions are that's actually quite nice. If I look inside here, there's your steel guide rod. So actually, for the price, this feels like a heck of a value. Here's the barrel. I've not done a ton of research on the barrel to see where they're made or a lot about them. Kind of a rough finish on there, I guess, but yeah. See the rifling down in there. And finally, inside the slide here. In my humble opinion, I'm really impressed right out of the box by maybe it's just the weight, but the quality of the firearm so far. As you reassemble, by the way, always be sure to get this nub back into that groove there, just like that. So it's all lined up nice and neat for you. And then, by the way, one thing about the CZ75s I always like to talk about is how they have the inverted rail system. Most slides ride on the outside of the rails. These rails are on the inside, which gives you a much smaller piece of steel to have a hold off to rack it, but it also means you have a much smaller piece of steel sliding backwards, reciprocating when you fire the weapon. So you only have this much coming back at you, which helps keep the gun to be a fairly flat shooter. So that's one of the main reasons I love the CZ75 clones, is that inverted rail system. That is something whether it's that and or the grip angle, just something that I seem to shoot really, really well. Now, sometimes these are tricky to get back in there. I don't want to embarrass myself on camera by not, oh, there it went. It was actually really easy. And it pops in. So, didn't mention the texturing on the slide grip, but those are actually quite nice. So there is my quick walk around, hopefully quick, of the SAR 2000, a Turkish CZ75 clone. What do you know about SAR? What do you know about the 2000? Love to hear your feedback. And as always, thank you guys so much for watching.